Welcome back to my channel. My name is Layla if you are new here. Today we're going to talk about how to build confidence. Confidence can mean a lot of things. So there's obviously your confidence in your physical appearance, your looks, your body, things like that. And then there's also confidence in who you are and how you carry yourself. So we're going to kind of touch on both of these, but mostly with confidence within yourself. Confidence in who you truly are and how you feel about yourself. I do think having confidence is really important in both areas because it kind of reflects how you will carry yourself. It will dictate the decisions that you end up making and just your overall happiness and how you choose to live your life kind of correlates with confidence and self-love, things like that. I do have a few tips on how you can build your confidence. These things do take time, but having confidence makes a world of a difference, and I strongly suggest that you strive to have it. First of all, I did want to mention that I think confidence kind of comes with age and with experience. So in the past, especially when I was a teenager, I had a lot more insecurities with my body, insecurities with my face, and even in some of the ways that I was, like who I was as a person. But as I've aged and as I've gained experience and I've survived things that have been kind of traumatic in my life, I have gained more confidence not only in my appearance but who I am as a person, and that just comes naturally. I think that comes naturally for a lot of people. So for example, growing up, I did not like my nose. I didn't like the bump in my nose. I didn't like the way my nostrils are shaped, like all these silly little things that now I don't really care about. Like I'm just kind of accepting of my features. You know, this is how I was born and I'm fine with that. When I was younger, I would think about like, oh, maybe in the future I'll get a nose job or things like that, but it's not really something that I think about now. Like I wouldn't get a nose job because this is my face and I like it. And same with my body. Like I've really developed into my body, and of course I work out and things like that so I can shape it to have more of the look that I want it to, but I still really love my body even when it's not as toned as I would prefer it to be. And then internally, you gain a lot more confidence with experience because you're going to probably go through things like relationships or job losses or just job struggles in college, or just life in general kind of helps you build your confidence because you overcome things. So that is one thing. With time, you will realize that you kind of feel more confident in who you are and what you look like. My first tip for gaining confidence, though, is gratitude. And this can be applied to internal confidence and external confidence. So I am so grateful for my body. I'm so grateful for what it does. I'm grateful for my face. I can see, I can smell, I can hear, all these things. And when you bring gratitude into your life, that just kind of puts things into perspective, because there are people who, you know, if you think your physical appearance or you think your body is disgusting or ugly, there are people who would literally kill to have your face or your body. Like, there is always a worse situation. And I'm not saying to compare yourself to other people or anything like that. But when I see people who are missing limbs, or they've had some major sickness or illness or major deformity, and then I'm over here complaining about a pimple, or that I don't like my stomach pudge or something like that. It's so silly to me because my body's great. My body functions amazingly, you know? And it really puts things into perspective for me. Like I should just have gratitude for these things because we do take these things for granted. We can walk and, you know, maybe you can't walk, but there is somebody who doesn't even have legs. And like, there's always a situation that you can find gratitude in it. You've just kind of got to look at the bigger picture. Like, if you don't like your legs, you have legs. They work, they walk. If you don't like your stomach, you have food to eat. You have a body. If you don't like your face, you can probably see, and you can probably smell and talk and hear. So there's all these little things to be grateful for externally. Gratitude is always just something I resort to in general. And then you can also have gratitude for who you are as a person. You know, just you have a mind that is capable of making decisions, making changes, and that's pretty powerful. So if you don't like who you are on the inside, you can change that. If you don't feel confident in who you are, that can change, and you should just have gratitude for that in and of itself. You are capable of learning and working on your mindset to adjust that. Tip number 2 is to challenge yourself and step out of your comfort zone. When you're in your comfort zone, there is no room for growth. Your brain wants you to be comfortable because being uncomfortable triggers fear in your brain, and it tells you to stay comfortable. It wants to keep you safe. But if you step out of your comfort zone, you may be able to overcome whatever it is that is so uncomfortable for you, and you're gonna come out on the other side feeling so much better. Like, I did that. So constantly challenge yourself, do things that you wouldn't typically do, or try something different. And the more that you do this, the more confidence you will gain for sure. Because like I was saying at the beginning, the more experience you have, the more you gain confidence naturally. So if you intentionally step outside of your comfort zone, then you are going to propel that forward even more so. My next tip, of course, is discipline. You guys know I love self-discipline. That is what I have a course in. That is my main focus of coaching. But discipline is the major key to confidence. This should be number 1, but discipline not only leads to confidence, but it leads to success and it leads to accomplishments. If you follow through with the things that you say you are going to do, I guarantee you will gain confidence really quickly. So think about the times that you say you're going to work out, but you don't. Do you feel guilty after? Do you feel any sort of disappointment in yourself? That is not helping you. That does not serve you. That is doing the opposite of gaining confidence. And some people may not even care. They may not feel guilty about it, but subconsciously you're telling yourself, I cannot do hard things. So naturally you are just going to lack confidence in being able to make decisions for yourself and being able to tell yourself to do something and actually following through with it. So each time that you follow through with something that you tell yourself you're going to do, you are disciplined in that area, then you are telling yourself, I can do hard things. I can do things that I tell myself I am going to do. And not only that, but discipline is going to lead to accomplishments. Like I said, you are going to reach success in whatever it is that you are being disciplined in. So this may be working out, starting a business, school, whatever. So discipline in and of itself is going to lead to success, which also will boost your confidence because you are going to accomplish something and you can look back on that and be so proud of it because you had the discipline to overcome all the obstacles, to overcome the resistance, to overcome all of those things your brain was telling you not to do because it was uncomfortable and not used to it. And you can look back and say, I did that. And that is so powerful. My next tip is to learn to laugh at yourself and just not take yourself so seriously. Of course, you may want to carry yourself in a professional manner or you have a certain way that you want to interact with people. But at the end of the day, everybody is human and everybody, 1, makes mistakes, 2, has problems, 3, has embarrassing things happen to them. So if you can just look at it that way, like the person that you may be looking up to or the person that is intimidating to you, they struggle themselves with maybe even confidence or just they struggle with the normal human struggles. If you mess up or if something embarrassing happens and you just learn to laugh at yourself, you are literally removing the care from that. So of course you don't want to humiliate yourself, you don't want to do anything stupid, but if something happens and you think people are judging you for it or talking about you or something, but if you can just be like, I don't care, then those people literally have no effect on you. Like, I don't care. If somebody thinks something about me and it's not true, I don't care because I know the truth myself and nobody can really take that away from you. So that is just the definition of having confidence, is you know who you are. You can laugh at yourself when something happens, and if other people want to laugh at you or if other people want to judge you or anything, any sort of negative thing towards you, it doesn't really matter because you have the confidence in yourself, so just brush it off. The next tip is to take care of yourself. This one's pretty obvious, of course, for your physical appearance. You want to work out, take care of your skin, take care of your teeth, eat good food, things like that. Of course, that's going to help your physical appearance, but it's also going to help you internally by adjusting your mindset. I do believe that there is a correlation between our guts and our mind that has been proven. Actually, there are books on that. If you're interested in reading up on that, there's a book called The Mind-Gut Connection. I'll link it down below. It's a really interesting read, but if you do good things for your body, that's going to reflect in your mind. It's going to help you think more positive thoughts. It's going to help you think more clearly, and it's going to remove things, or at least reduce things like anxiety and depression, things like that. But of course, when you take care of yourself, you are living up to a certain standard. So if you don't allow yourself to, binge on unhealthy food all the time, you have a higher standard for yourself. But if you allow yourself to eat junk food, your standard is low. You are okay with giving yourself food that does not serve you. But if you raise your standards to where, okay, I need to exercise this amount each week, I need to eat this type of food, then that is just going to increase your confidence, because your appearance is going to change, but also because you're just doing things that are good for you. You're doing things that you know are respectful to your body, respectful to yourself. You're doing things that you know are healthy for you, and just doing good things for yourself increases your confidence. Also, when you exercise, you're just increasing those endorphins, things like that. So you're going to feel happier and more confidence in general. Find something that you enjoy doing and work on it. So for me, that would be like my YouTube, my blogging, my courses, things like that. I love this. Not only do I want to take all of this full time, but I come home and I get to do this, and that's so exciting for me. I love that I have something to call my own. I love doing this because each time I do something, it increases my confidence, because back to what I said before, I did that, I created that. And even though my progress may be slow, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm so proud of everything that I have created, and I'm so proud that I've had the persistence and perseverance to continue this. When you work on something you're really proud of and you start having results from it, it really increases your confidence and your happiness overall. And this could be something different. Maybe you prefer to paint. Maybe you really like to play soccer or something like that. It could be anything that you want. But if you take the time out to do those things, this just creates your personality. It is who you start to identify as. Like, I identify as a creator. I identify as a YouTuber and a blogger and a course creator. It's just a really fulfilling feeling, and I can say that this has increased my confidence, not only from putting myself out there, but also just by saying that I am doing it. My next tip is to avoid doing things that you will not be proud of or that you may regret. And so this is going to require not only discipline, but the power of thinking, because a lot of people do not think before they act, and that causes problems. If I'm angry, I typically go silent because I don't want to say something that I may regret in that moment. This is a matter of controlling your emotions, which goes back to self-discipline. I also hold certain standards to myself. So there are many things in life that I know I would not do. As a logical thinking person, I am able to avoid those things, but I also avoid things that may lead to that. So for example, I do not drink, I do not smoke. That is completely personal preference. There are multiple reasons for me not doing that. But because I don't do those things, I do not reach a point, i.e. intoxication, where my decision-making abilities are inhibited. And so if you are doing things like that, if you are getting intoxicated in any sort of way, you may make a decision that you are not proud of or something that you regret. And I am just not here for that. And so I choose not to do those things, not only for health reasons, not only for personal reasons, but to maintain that so that I am always proud of the things that I'm doing. I also choose to do things that I'm proud of on a daily basis. I take action on my goals. I can genuinely say that I'm proud of all the things that I incorporate in my life. I love my morning routines. I'm proud of that. I like that I finished school and I continued a career in what I studied. There's so many things that I'm proud of, and there's not much in my life that I regret. And, you know, there's things here and there that have happened that are poor decisions that I did in the past, but I am able to learn from those and I would never repeat them. But because I've built myself through personal development and through discipline and just through experience, I know the things that if I were to do them, I would not be proud of them. So I avoid those, and that helps to increase your confidence. My next tip is to never stop improving. Actually, quick little plug, I even have these stickers, Never Stop Improving, that I designed. These are linked down below. They're only a couple bucks, so check them out if you want them. But I strongly believe in that, and I will never stop improving because I love it so much. My personal development journey started several years ago. It started with listening to audio of like Tony Robbins and Gary Vee and things like that, and then it, you know, reading all these books, and now it's just compounded on itself, and it's crazy. And even when you think you reach a point where you're like, oh, I'm pretty mentally developed, like I have learned so much from all these people by reading, by taking courses, by listening to audio, things like that. But then I signed up for coaching, and it went even further, and I'm like, how much can you even go? Like, it never ends. And the thing is, with personal development, it truly never ends. And I'm realizing that I can keep getting better and better, and that is insane. Like, you can keep going, it doesn't end. But even if you think it gets to a point where like maybe you start plateauing, like, you just constantly have to keep working on yourself, and that is just going to lead to confidence in and of itself, because you are working on yourself, you are maintaining your values, you are learning new things, and you just get to this point where you feel like you can't be defeated. Like, I cannot be defeated. No matter what happens, it doesn't matter. I will get through this because I have in the past, and I know I will as I continue. My next tip is to practice mindfulness. So this may not mean meditation. I personally love meditation. It's something that I do just about every single day. But this just kind of means sitting with yourself. Be with yourself and don't be afraid of that, because you need to think. You have to have time to think to yourself and about your feelings. Like, observe your feelings. You don't have to feel any certain way about them. You can feel your feelings. That is okay. Just observe them, be aware of them, accept them, and tell yourself, I feel this way, and that's okay. Like, you need to start understanding why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And if you can sit with yourself, you learn way more. You're going to learn about how your mind works, and you can also learn how to manipulate your mind. Like, why am I thinking this way, and what can I do about it, for if it's negative, for example. So many people are afraid of being alone with themselves because of thinking, and I don't think that's a problem at all. Even if it's negative thoughts, that's okay. Why are you thinking those negative thoughts? We live in a world where we are constantly stimulated. You know, we have our phones, TVs, YouTube. Like, there's all these things that we just keep feeding ourselves. And even if you are not consuming content online or on your phone, you are listening to people's conversations, or you are joining in on a conversation that is still not your own. So if you take the time to be by yourself, this could be taking a walk or just sitting and drinking some coffee or tea while you look out the window and just allow yourself to think to yourself. You'll learn so much about yourself, and this actually helps in many areas, not only confidence. My final tip is to learn to love yourself. Self-love is so important, and this obviously is directly correlated to confidence. But the more you learn to accept yourself through all of these things and to truly love yourself, maybe even before loving somebody else, you probably should do that before loving somebody else, because if you are relying on external things for self-love, you know, that could be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. If you are relying on somebody else, that can be really traumatic for you. Say you guys break up or something happens, if you guys argue and then that ruins your whole day or whole week, that can be a huge problem for you in your life. If you rely on likes on social media, that's obviously a red flag right there. Like, you need to learn to love yourself and not look for approval from other people or from other sources. And this just comes with experience, with working on these things, with personal development. If you start to do things that you are proud of and you start to make decisions that are going to get you where you want to be, you will develop that love within yourself. Overall, self-love is so important and something that you can readily control. So definitely work on that to increase your confidence. Those are my main tips for building confidence in who you are as a person and your physical appearance. I know there was quite a bit there, but hopefully that was helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in my next video.